Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kurojiri Isagami, your resident tinkerer and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet-fighting robot series. Well, as we crest into the final week of the Go Nagai collaboration with Medarot S, I have to say it's been an absolutely exciting, wild turn of events over the course of the month of April. First, we started with Mazinger Z and Mazin Kaiser in week 1. In weeks 2 and 3, we had the Shin Getter and Black Getter Robos. And this week, as we wrap up April, we'll be finalizing in the last series that is being highlighted through the collaboration, and that is, of course, Devilman himself. The story of a man who fused with the devil to become the Devilman in order to protect the world against devils that would do it harm. Honestly, between you and me, that sounds a lot like where maybe Chainsaw Man or something similar got some inspiration from. But I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. As far as Medarot is concerned, though, we already have kind of an idea of what to expect with Devilman, but now that we officially have the breakdown on his stats and the final week of rewards and events ongoing, it's going to be a relatively quiet week once again, but still going to be a very exciting end all the same. That being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced and broken down for the final week of the Go Nagai collaboration. Starting, of course, with the lineup of gacha banners, it's going to be relatively quiet this week in terms of new models joining the banners. This week, of course, we'll be getting DYN04 Devil Hero with a mostly new kit of Sanction, Big Bang, Curse Shot, Flight Legs, and the leg ability of Avoidance. Now, to explain briefly, Devil Hero isn't bringing a whole bunch of new stuff in the comparison to, say, Mazin Kaiser or Shin Getter in particular, who did a lot of new stuff. Devil Hero in particular is only introducing one new skill and one new leg ability. But to explain them briefly, Sanction is basically going to become an inverse to Punishment, where you'll deal bonus damage if you attack an enemy in cooldown, but half damage if you attack them from the front. In addition, you also have the ability to inflict 1 of 5 random ailments at random when attacking the target, much like you can with Punishment. But Sanction, on the other hand, has ailments such as Defense Seal and Freeze, and even Melt or Hole, I believe, were some of the ones that were added in that one. And Avoidance basically is kind of like Elusive, where you get a bonus if your evade is higher than the target's, but in particular, Devil Hero's Avoidance will give him a damage bonus if his evade is higher than his target's. And given that he currently has a very solid base evade at 2300 when capped, that's going to be pretty tough to beat on a lot of different leg types and abilities, unless they're playing on flight terrain much like he is. Now, with the addition of Devil Hero this week, in terms of rerun banners, like I said, it's going to be relatively quiet, but still a lot of models that were kind of incoming and expected through the event ticket banner. The first of which, of course, is GDS01 Artemis, the Goddess type, with a kit of Rebirth, Laser, Guard 300, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Super Armor. And then last but not least, SLN01 Sikamar, who we actually have not seen have a banner officially, I'd argue, honestly, since she came out, because she is a Spotlight banner with a kit of Triple Metaphor Seal, Flight Legs, and the Mariner leg ability. She's honestly kind of forgettable. I mean, she's there, she'll pop up in a banner every once in a while as a Spotlight, but otherwise, not really a lot to mention about her, so it is kind of surprising that they decided to highlight her. But given that she is a Spotlight, I would not recommend putting a lot of effort toward pushing for a Sikamar. Instead, push for Devil Hero or Artemis if you have been keeping up with the banners. Now, if neither of these particular do kind of stand out to you, as a friendly reminder, all of the collab banners will be sticking around until the 9th of May next month. So, Mazin Z, S Getter, B Getter, all the events, and even the Medarotter banner as well, will be sticking around until relatively early into next month as well. But as we get closer to that, make sure you do pull the models that you do want from the collaboration so that you don't miss out on the very powerful skills that every last one of them brings to the table. In terms of fierce battles this week, it is going to be focusing pretty heavy on armor and very heavy bulk overall, which is going to be a very interesting week in particular for the dynamic. But starting this week off with the fierce battles, we are starting at WEA03P2 Shisaku 2 with a kit of Charge Buster, Press, Power Rifle, tank legs and the leg ability of Trap Buster. Next to him, we have TOT-0 Yellow Turtle with Heater, Double Laser, Tank Legs, and the Bullet Rain leg ability. And then wrapping us up on this top row here will be DGD-0 GO Death with Optic Guard, Double Sacrifice, Float Legs, and the Mirage leg ability. On this bottom row here, we are looking at GLM-0 Sekizo with Triple Missile, Tank Legs, and Continuous P. Next to him is SKD-0 Sagoro with Beam, Double Hold, Biped Legs, and Captor. And last but not least, the newest Fierce Battle to join us fairly recently is HKD-0 Hakato with Charge Plant, Hammer, Guard 500, Biped Legs, and the Fortress leg ability. So like I said, lots of tank legs or lots of bulky legs specializing in damage reduction this week, which is going to be pretty solid if you're looking to try to keep an emphasis on defense. It was kind of hard to pick an MVP of the week since they all kind of offer something very useful, much like every other week would. But I did have to end up giving that MVP of the week to Sekizo in particular, given that thanks to Silent Leader, AoE and even scatter attacks like Missile or Napalm or things like that do actually have a lot of use now thanks to Silent Leader and flushing out the enemy leader on the opposing side. However, Sekizo also I did highlight for another reason, and that is the fact of Continuous P, which will passively boost the heat stat on his parts progressively for the first 5 turns of battle. So even if he isn't the fastest on the field the first couple turns, he will kind of overcome his own weakness to a point the longer that the fight drags on. And given that it is a tank leg, means he can most certainly hold his own and keep the damage as low as possible while he is on the field. Other models such as Shisaku 2, Yellow Turtle, Geodes, Sagoro, and Hakato, all nice to have and worth holding on to if you have not picked them up, but I would say Sekizo would be the big one of this group here that you want to focus on the most. Now, as always, as it has been with previous weeks as well, we do finally have the paid skin revealed for Devil Hero as well, highlighting a very flame-induced crimson form. I'm unfortunately not super familiar with a lot of Go Nagai series, so I really can't give a lot of the information behind it. So if there are any fans of that in the comments that would like to fill me in on that, I would greatly appreciate that. But much like the other skins, it will be available on the web store and the in-game shop as well if you are able to access it. Roughly for about 3,000 USD if I did see it, 3,000 yen if I do recall correctly. So not super expensive, I'd say about 23 bucks really at the most. Not super pricey alongside a handful of rubies as you see here. If you do end up collecting Devil Hero, you could pick this up pretty easily, but if not, as a friendly reminder, this is just a skin, it is not the actual bot and parts themselves. If you pick up the skin but not the bot, it's just going to sit in your library and look pretty, unfortunately. Now, one other big thing that's going on with gacha banners this week is that we are also starting Golden Week this week in about 3 days, starting the 26th. And to celebrate Golden Week, they will be offering a one-day-only, limited-time pickup banner added to the banner roster through the week. Starting the week off with Golden Week, as you see here. On the 26th, Alva Noel will be highlighting the banners for a week. On the 27th will be Black Cruz, the newest of the hybrid Kabukua types. On the 28th, Kaiser Beetle and Luminous Stag will be coming back. And honestly, I'll say this, I've said it before, I'll say it again, honestly, Kaiser Beetle is probably going to be the best when it comes to the KBT types in terms of being the most readily usable out of the gate with what he brings, and having probably one of the best heavy arms leg abilities in the game. Luminous Stag, nice to have, but he is kind of expensive to use, and, how to put this nicely, blind AF, I guess I'll put it at. It's hard, but if he misses, which will probably be a lot, don't expect to see a lot of usefulness of him on the field. On the 29th, we'll be seeing Exides and Unitrice making returns as well. And then on the 30th, to end us out on April, will be Charles de Nurse. So lots of very useful models here as well through Golden Week to celebrate as we wrap out the tail end of this collaboration. So if none of the collaboration models really pique your interest for whatever reason, you do also have these that you could save for as well. With the final wave of the event stuff ongoing, though, we do have one final wave of rewards that we can participate and earn. This time around, we can earn the Justice Medal, which has a mastery in melee, shooting, and defense, with leg masteries in tank, float, and flight. We can also earn 2 more commemorative profile banners featuring Black Getter and Devilman, as you see here. And then we also have one last wave of limited time event gacha tickets that we can also farm for extra pulls in the limited gacha banner for models such as Artemis and Asterios and Chuk and other reruns that were highlighted over the course of this month. Now, this event in particular will be milestone based, much like it was in week 1, so it will be pure sets encouraged across the board. Now, for the standard bonuses, as you see here, though, Black Getter at a 15% bonus per part will be the primary bonus for that one you want to focus on. Artemis and Sycamore will give you a 9% bonus each per part, and the PvP exhibition models of Dead Quasar, Death Glare, and Gao Gao Marmo at an 8% each per part. The Fierce Battles adding 6% each per part, including Mazinger Z as well, just kind of to round it out and tie this collab back together. The SR rank versions of Salt, Icky, and Tenma will give you a 10% bonus each. The R rank of those same Metarotters will give you a 5%, and the N rank at a 3% each. Now, for the additional bonus on top of that, Devil Hero will give you a 6% bonus per part, whereas Maz and Kaiser and Shin Getter will give you a 5% bonus per part each. Now, the other big thing to focus on with this event is the fact that it will also feature the boss fight mechanic. And to explain that briefly, every time you complete a round of the event, it does have the chance to spawn a boss battle encounter. These encounters can be stacked, so you can farm a whole bunch of them and then just do a whole bunch of encounters over and over, one behind the other. But it does feature a completely separate rank of rewards that you have to earn and build points and bonuses for. For the boss battle and for the boss fight bonuses, Devil Hero will give you that 15% bonus per part, of course, as the highlight for this week. Maz and Kaiser and Shin Getter will give you a 9% bonus per part each. The Devilman cosplay skin for Salt will give you a 20% bonus for using that Medarot, whereas the 15% bonus for the Shin Getter Icky or the Maz and Kaiser Tenma, and of course a 10% bonus for the Mazinger Z Koishimaru as well. So if you have been collecting models over the course of this event, it's going to be relatively easy because even starting back in week 1, you still can get some pretty solid bonuses out of it. And it is going to be a really nice way to kind of tie this event to a close as we officially say farewell to the Go Nagai collaboration and continue on with our regular everyday Medarot lives. One last thing to highlight with the event as well is that, much like it was with Shin Getter Robo, we will be getting another wave of a limited time Super Invasion, this time highlighting Devil Hero. We're also getting a 4th wave of event missions where we can earn additional event gacha tickets and ruby shards. Now, if it's anything like the previous Super Invasion was, which with Shin Getter, it's going to be relatively easy. Go in with your best models or even your PvP team, and that's honestly what I've been doing. And just go in there, knock it out, in and out real quick, and you're done. That you can take home this limited profile plate as well as another trophy to signify your participation in the collaboration. Moving away from game stuff, it's, like I said, relatively quiet in terms of stuff as we bring this collaboration to a close. On the topic of events, of community stuff, we are still always looking for translators to assist us with any current ongoing endeavors. Right now, Medarot 3 is still in that tentative completion stage. Just a couple minor bugs and errors to clean up and fix, but mostly just need playtesters just to double check it, go behind and make sure everything works. Grammar checks, spelling errors, just make sure everything's behaving as it should. Then we can start working on other projects such as Medarot 4 and 5 and Navi, or even the Reloaded manga as well, which has been getting a lot of interest, but we don't have the hands to do so. So if you are knowledgeable in coding, cleaning Japanese, or have some time on your hands, definitely feel free to join our Discord or ask around. We'll get you in touch with the right people to fill you in on what has been done and what still needs done up to this point. And with the weekly art highlights here on the MNN, I found these pieces just in the last couple days or so. This one here by Twitter user Ross, and I'm probably going to botch this, and I do apologize ahead of time. Rasatu Ayano, who does a very nice slice of life, daily life thing with Sidekicky from the Detective Trio. And honestly, I've said it before and I'll say it again, every day with a Medarot art like this, I live for this stuff. This stuff gives me life. I love seeing this kind of art. And I just absolutely adore seeing it in my feed of these everyday life, if Medarots existed, just the kind of things that we would see with them. And this one here by Twitter user CRH0BadHacker, kind of obvious who your favorite model would be there. I like the 2 iconic roach types themselves, Black Lester and Bad Hacker himself. Now, I have said it before, I'll say it again, Bad Hacker is one of those models where he's nice to have. You may not use him super often, but in the instances where you do, he is going to easily be your best friend for what he brings to the table. especially when it comes to his mastery in passive aggression. So definitely give both of these artists a follow if you'd like to see more of their wonderful art in your feeds as well. One final thing to wrap us up as well is just as a friendly reminder, I am still always open for commission for any 2D or 3D art that you're looking for. I can do live 2D models ready to rig, not rigged unfortunately, fully cut up and ready to go. I can do 3D models fully rigged, optimized, textured, ready to go for any platform such as VRChat, MMD, VRM, or whatever you choose to use it for. I can also do traditional art at varying degrees of complexity. I can also do emotes and anything else of the like that you might be looking for. So if you are a new content creator or looking to get some art relatively cheap without breaking the bank, feel free to definitely reach out to me on Discord or on Twitter, and we can most certainly try to make something happen and coordinate a itinerary on what you're looking for and see what we can make happen. One other thing I do want to mention before I do officially wrap us up, I did make a post on Twitter for those that follow me on there, highlighting all the previous online PvP skins, which kind of gave me an idea. And I want to start a conversation in the comments below as well to kind of generate some more interactivity with this. But I have been really thinking about maybe hosting a stream one Sunday or on another day off I might have, and just kind of make it a just chatting stream. And during the stream, I would focus primarily on just ideas. So things that you think Medarot S is doing great, things that you think they could do better, things that you think they could add, or things they could look at or take away, and just kind of compile a list of ideas. Not really anything serious, but just kind of spend a couple hours and people will come and go and talk about it. And we'll just kind of think about it, talk about it, generate some ideas, and maybe I would post them, maybe I'll tag the Imagineer and Medarot S channels with it, and just kind of see what they might, if they weigh in on it and see what they think. But just a thought, what do you guys think about that? Comment below and kind of give me some feedback on that as well. But with all that being said, I do believe that covers basically everything for this week. So, like I said, relatively quiet week overall, but still very exciting as we wrap up the collab all the same. If you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page or the Metabots Forever community on there, which is now currently skyrocketing over 18K members and still growing by the day. You can also join us on Discord. We are the most active in terms of keeping up with Medarot news and Medarot content, be it new episodes on my channel, breakdowns, contests, fan art, or anything else of the like. That's the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. You can also reach out to me personally on Twitter at IsagamIkura for any questions, feedback, commissions, or if you'd love to collaborate with me, say having you here on the channel with me as a guest host, of which there is always a seat here at the desk, or if you'd like to have me stop on your channel as well for a friendly chat or visit, I would absolutely love to coordinate and try to make something happen with that. Lastly, do give my dear buddies Esper Hub and Not Drunk Games a follow as well. I did actually have them on a stream with me back on Sunday as they live commentated with me for my attempt at speedrunning Pizza Tower back on Sunday. And I am proud to announce I did officially hit the speedrun ending with a final time of about 1 hour 15 minutes and just about 40 some seconds. So plenty of time to spare, and honestly that does kind of raise my confidence to think I could probably attempt a true ending speedrun at the 95% completion under 4 hours if I was able to complete the whole tower by blitzing it under 2. So definitely give both of them a follow as well if you'd like to see more of their content, and love to see more of these wonderful friends that I surround myself with. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping by, just as you always do. Until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.